In the early morning, as the first rays of sunlight crept over the hills of Jerusalem, the city was still and quiet, wrapped in the hush of dawn. The world seemed to hold its breath, as if waiting for something miraculous to unfold. A small group of devoted women, Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and Mary the mother of James, walked quietly through the winding paths, their footsteps soft on the dew-covered ground. They moved with purpose, yet their hearts were heavy, each step a reminder of the sorrow they carried. In their hands they carried precious jars of spices and ointments prepared with care and love. These offerings were meant to honor Jesus, to anoint his body one final time, a last act of devotion for the teacher and friend they had lost. The silence of the morning was broken only by the soft rustle of their robes and the quiet sound of their breathing. As they walked, their minds replayed memories of Jesus, his gentle words, his miraculous healings, the hope he had brought to so many. Approaching the tomb, they wondered how they would move the heavy stone that sealed the entrance. But as they drew near, their eyes widened in shock. The stone had already been rolled away. Fear and confusion gripped them as they peered into the darkness of the tomb, their hearts pounding in their chests. What could this mean? Had someone come before them? Inside, the tomb was empty. Jesus' body was gone. The grave clothes lay where he had been, but he was not there. A wave of emotions swept over them. Fear, disbelief, and a growing sense of awe. Their hands trembled as they clutched their robes, struggling to understand what they were seeing. Had someone taken him? Was this another cruel twist of fate? The women looked at each other, searching for answers in each other's eyes, whispering in hushed voices, desperate for reassurance. Yet even in their confusion and fear, a sense of wonder began to grow. The dawn light seemed to shine a little brighter, illuminating their faces with a glimmer of hope. Something extraordinary was happening, something beyond their understanding. The empty tomb was not the end of their story, but the beginning of something new and unimaginable. In that moment, the world shifted, and hope was reborn. As the sun rose higher, hope flickered in the dawn, promising that even in the darkest moments, light and life would return. Suddenly, in the quiet stillness of the early morning, an angel appeared before the women at the tomb. His presence was radiant, his form shining with a light that seemed not of this world, awe-inspiring and overwhelming. The women, who had come in sorrow, trembled with fear and wonder, shielding their eyes from the brilliance. Their hearts pounded as they realized they were witnessing something extraordinary, something holy and beyond their understanding. But the angel, seeing their fear, spoke with a gentle and reassuring voice. "Do not be afraid," he said, his words calm and full of compassion. "I know you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. You have come seeking him, but do not be troubled. He is not here. He has risen, just as he told you he would." The angel's words echoed in the quiet tomb, filling the space with hope and wonder. The burial linens lay neatly folded, a silent testimony to the miracle that had taken place. The angel pointed to the empty place where Jesus had lain, inviting the women to see for themselves that the tomb was truly empty. The stone slab, once a place of sorrow, was now a sign of victory and new beginnings. "Go quickly and tell his disciples," the angel instructed, urgency in his voice. "Share this incredible news with those who loved him. Let them know that Jesus is alive, just as he promised." Amazed and still trembling with a mix of fear and joy, the women felt a spark of hope ignite within them. Their sorrow began to lift, replaced by awe and a sense of purpose. They realized they were the first to witness this miracle, entrusted with a message that would change the world. With hearts racing and minds reeling, they hurried away from the tomb, eager to share what they had seen and heard. The weight of their message filled them with both responsibility and excitement. The resurrection was not just the end of sorrow, but the dawn of new life and hope for all who would believe. In that moment, the world was forever changed. The women's news sent Peter and John running to the tomb. John arrived first, peering in to see the linen strips, but he hesitated. Peter entered, seeing the cloths and the head covering folded separately, a sign of something miraculous. Hope stirred in Peter's heart. John followed, and as he looked around, realization dawned. Scripture had foretold this moment. Jesus must rise from the dead. Their disbelief turned to belief. They returned to the others, ready to share what they had witnessed. The impossible was becoming reality. Mary Magdalene lingered at the tomb, weeping. She saw someone nearby and, thinking he was the gardener, pleaded for Jesus' body. Then he spoke her name, Mary. Instantly she recognized Jesus, alive. Overwhelmed with joy, she called out, "Rabboni, teacher!" Jesus told her to share the news, "I am ascending to my Father and your Father." Mary hurried to the disciples, the first to see the risen Lord. She carried a message of hope and new life. That same day, two followers walked to Emmaus, discussing the recent events with heavy hearts. A stranger joined them. It was Jesus, though they didn't recognize him. He listened, then explained how the scriptures pointed to the Messiah's suffering and glory. At Emmaus they invited him to stay. As he broke bread, their eyes were opened. They recognized Jesus. He vanished, leaving them in awe. Their hearts burned with understanding. They rushed back to Jerusalem proclaiming, "The Lord has risen." Despair had turned to joyous belief. Later, as the disciples gathered behind locked doors, Jesus appeared among them. "Peace be with you," he said, calming their fears. He showed them his hands and side, the marks of crucifixion. Joy and faith filled the room. Thomas, absent at first, doubted until Jesus appeared again and invited him to touch his wounds. Thomas declared, "My Lord and my God." Jesus blessed those who believe without seeing. These appearances anchored the disciples in the truth of the resurrection. Jesus promised to be with them always, guiding them forward. The resurrection of Jesus is a beacon of hope, life conquering death, light overcoming darkness. It is the heart of the Christian faith, a moment that changed history and continues to inspire millions around the world. In that miraculous morning, despair was transformed into joy, and fear gave way to unshakable faith. The empty tomb is not just a symbol, but a living promise that no darkness is too deep, no ending too final. It assures us the grave is not the end. Death does not have the final word. The resurrection proclaims that love is stronger than loss, and that every ending can become a new beginning. It invites us to look beyond sorrow and see the dawn of hope breaking through. Through Jesus we are promised new life, a life not just in the future, but one that begins now, filled with purpose, meaning, and the assurance that we are deeply loved. This new life is a daily invitation to rise above our struggles and embrace the hope that God offers. Romans reminds us, just as Christ was raised from the dead, we too may walk in newness of life. The resurrection is not only about what happened long ago, but about what can happen in our hearts today. We too may live a new life, transformed by hope and empowered by love. Each step we take is a testament to the power of renewal, and every act of kindness is a reflection of the risen Christ within us. This is a gift, a chance to begin again, free from despair. No matter our past, the resurrection offers us a fresh start, a clean slate, and the courage to move forward with hope. The resurrection calls us to courage, faith, and a willingness to trust in what we cannot always see. It challenges us to stand strong in the face of adversity, knowing that we are never truly alone, and sharing hope with others. We are never alone. In our darkest moments, the light of Christ shines through the love and support of those around us. We are called to be that light for others, spreading hope wherever we go. The Spirit of Jesus guides us toward a future filled with promise, leading us step by step into new possibilities. With every sunrise, we are reminded that hope is renewed and that God's love is ever present. In this, we find the courage to face each day, to open new doors, and to walk boldly into the unknown, trusting that we are held by grace. Knowing love and hope endure forever, we can live with joy, purpose, and the unshakable assurance that resurrection is not just a story from the past, but a living reality in our lives today.